Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I can see Jared is here. Jared, are you here? I see you over here in the top chat list. Hit a message if you do. All right. Well, anyway, it is Wednesday evening, July the 7th, here in Southeast Virginia. And yes, it looks like we're about to get ourselves a hurricane, tropical depression, whatever. Um, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but they're saying sustained winds 35, gust to 40, somewhere between 2 and 3 inches of rain, maybe 5 inches of rain out there toward the state capital, Richmond, which is about 70 miles to the northwest of here. But since we live on a peninsula and we have water everywhere already, any more water will tend to, create a little bit more problems. But we shall see. So, how's everything going for y'all? Good. Yeah. So, anyway, later this week, once the weather clears up, we've got a number of videos that I'll be putting together. Um, Nothing specific exciting to talk about at the moment, but it always has something to do with cooking and eating until we get back to cold weather camping, which in this part of the country is the end of October, early November. It can stay quite warm here all the way up till almost Thanksgiving, and then after that the chill comes on. And seeing as how where we live right close to the ocean. We might get maybe one good snow every 3 or 4 or 5 years, and even then it's not a big deal. So, and I'm sure, and seeing a lot of videos from the rest of you, that you get a great deal of snow, and here in about 14 months, I am going to retire, and it's our intention, the wife and I, to head into a more rural place that tends to get a little bit colder because this subtropical Southeast Virginia climate just really doesn't match with the types of things that I do. But I guess we'll see how everything plays out. As normal, YouTube is being its cantankerous self after talking to a number of people. I can see that a lot of people have experienced the same thing that I have, and there's really not a whole lot we can do about it other than just do the best we can. However, I can see here on the old iPhone that I can see Unpaved Explorer, Hunting Down Adventure, my wife, Colleen. Of course, I'm here. Jared, you're here. You were the very first one to get in here. Uh, Unpaved Explorer, I was looking at I think it was a lantern this morning, and just before I clocked on to work, I'm sitting in the parking lot, and all I could see was a lantern. And I said, okay, he must be getting a cup of coffee or something. Hunting Down Adventure. Hey, how you doing? Uh, that's right. My wife says it took us 30 years to get a white Christmas. That's a fact. And prior to that, the one that I remember was 1967. So you're talking roughly 30 years prior to that. So how's everything going for y'all out there? Good. So the eve before the so-called big storm. So like I said, this really isn't going to be that big of a deal. At least I hope not, anyway. Um, Life with Lindsay. Lindsay, I see you're here. And if you'd like snow, come to Eastern Washington. We had 12 inches overnight. I think I would like it out there, Lindsay. I really do. You know anything about this end of the country, it is a wall-to-wall people from about Norfolk, Virginia, literally all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts. Just a big string of people. You might get a batch of trees here and there, but not a whole lot. And, so where I saw your Hatchet video. That was cool. That sounds like something right up my alley. And I seen that you'd stuck at least a couple of them. Jan and Bruce, Adam's Van Adventures. I always love your videos. You're fantastic. The pie irons and all the little trips that you're taking and stuff like that. Yeah, really, really neat. And yes, I am doing quite well. How are y'all? Y'all on the road right now, or just kind of hanging out and hunting down adventure? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good, bud. How are you doing? Okay. Yep. Uh, some great videos, man. Outstanding. And I thought, Lindsay, I think the last time I talked to you or something like that by way of YouTube, you said it was like horrible hot and fires and everything like that. And now we don't have things like, we get hot, but nothing like 108 or anything like that. It's here. It's 94, 95, but we get the humidity. And the humidity will often be the same as the temperature, which is, you take one quick walk across the backyard or across a parking lot, and you feel like you're drinking water or dragging a boat anchor behind me. I see East Wild Camping from Nova Scotia, Canada. Hey, Canada, how you doing? All right. Spent some time up there, gosh, a number of years ago. When I was in the military, stopped and spent some time in Goose Bay. Then we went to St. Cloud, Minnesota. We did some cold weather training up along the Canadian border. Um, love your country. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. See, Lindsay said we typically don't get much above the 90s, but no humidity. Humidity would kill me. Yeah, trust me, it kills me too. Yeah, I went outside when I got home from work. I guess about 11:30. Yeah, I work some of these weird hours, dark 30 to 11 a.m. Then I come home and I went outside and did some brief work in the front yard. Then came back and picked some tomatoes, and I had to take the glasses off because they were just like literally swimming on my head. And it was at that point in time I decided, all right, hot weather, you have won. You have definitely won. Jan and Bruce, hubby is Canadian and waiting for the borders to open. Yes, hopefully. Yes, we are, even here in Virginia, even in the States, quite literally, it has become a pain, or was a pain, to cross from one state to the next, one city to the next. Everybody had different rules and stuff like that. Here where we live in Hampton and Newport News, Virginia, you can break out your handy maps and you'll see exactly where I'm talking about. They're really starting to loosen up all these mask restrictions, and I'm one of those ones that, because of I work for the city, we got both shots right away. So, oh yeah, without going any further, all of y'all introduce yourselves. If you haven't subscribed to each other, please do introduce yourselves. Simple Preparedness. Hey, man, I seen you were there the other night, but me and my YouTube understanding self when it comes to streaming, I couldn't get to you, and hopefully, everything's working out. I can actually see y'all now. Here, let me show you what I'm looking at. It's probably upside down, but anyway, I can see y'all. So that's why I'm looking down and looking at y'all at the same time. It is like horrible hot outside here right now. Everything outside is struggling to stay alive, the gardens and everything. But yeah, it's Jan Bruce. It does seem like it is working. I noticed a little while ago when I came back here to turn the live feeds on that Jared was already up here and said first. And I said, well, I didn't see that the last few times I've tried it. So maybe this is a good sign. And I have been tinkering around with this on and off now for several days, talking with people. And I'm not the only one that's literally scratching their head like, why? And it was almost like, I don't know, maybe YouTube finally recognized all these toggle switches that I've flipped, that we enabled the live chat and everything. However, the feed bar over here on the side is not working. And Grandma Prepper, of all people, suggested that I pick up my iPhone and or iPad or something like that and enable live chat on it. And it's here that I can see everybody. And I don't feel like you guys thinking, well, how come you won't say nothing about me? Well, simple prepares. It takes some time getting used to it. I agree. But once you get it, it's really cool. I like this. It is really, really good. Okay. This live feed stuff is new to me. I've always been an outside type person. I spent 27 years as a letter carrier for the U.S. Postal Service. So I was always outside and always, whatever the weather threw at me, meeting it head on. Marine Corps veteran, believe it or not, life in the Marines was a little more calmer than the Postal Service. And Unpaved says doing dishes and listening. Yeah, I can relate. Yeah. East Coast. I was on the Creekside Maples last night. What a great time we had. They're awesome people. Yeah. Okay. So what's the weather like up Canada right now? Still cool, chilly. Has got quite warm. I know in the northern states, everybody keeps telling me it's about as hot there as it is here. And then I hear folks out west, everything say it's really hot, dry, fire season, everything. Tell you what, whatever your poison is, your pleasure is, as far as disasters, I believe we got it. We got a little bit of everything. Hot and sweaty here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Willis Blivens, hey man, I'll tell you what, you're a cook. Yeah, so you are a master when it comes to that cast iron. You are my inspiration. It's just unbelievable. And anybody that does not know Willis and his abilities with cast iron, you've got to check this out. Okay, he can cook anything at all, and it's just incredible. So, and again, like I said, I have Dave Collier Camping Facebook page. Feel free to share your pictures. Anything having to do with camping, but fishing, whatnot. I don't really care. It's just yeah, Lindsay. I think you will definitely like what Willis does. I mean, he's done. A few minutes ago was what Meatloaf, right, Willis? I think it was. I saw. Incredible videos, and yeah, definitely. Y'all definitely get acquainted. That's part of what we do here. I know Unpaved Explorer. We do this all the time. He makes the announcement. Meet and greet. Subscribe, like, comment, share. So if we can help each other out and everything. So Willis, yep, thanks. You do. I mean, it's incredible. Yep. So what's next? I can't wait to see what the next cast iron accomplishment is. And yeah. But yeah, Willis does know how to do things East Coast while camping. So anybody else pretty good with them cast irons? I mean, I'm okay, but it's just nothing. I can come up with some unbelievable ideas and stuff like that. And my wife, she's the same thing. I know what you could do. And I'm like, gosh, we've never even tried something like that. Well, we sort of did, but not exactly. I suppose the difference between not exactly and having done it. So, yeah. Janet Bruce, I can burn cake in one. I don't know. I bet you and your pie irons. I tell you what, some of the pies you've come up with are pretty good. We did an apple pie one the other day. I think it was 4th of July. I think it was, and we used, instead of bread or anything like that, we used pastry dough, and it fused together really good, and it firmed up, and it just literally came out in like an apple pocket type thing. It was really good. I can see where it takes a little bit of trial and effort to get these pie irons to do exactly what you want to do. Granted, if you're using bread and stuff like that, it seems like it gets kind of all soggy, and by the time you get it all crusted up, you literally burn it to pieces. But about 2 minutes 50 seconds on each side when you're using that pastry dough, and if you're using apple filling or a peach filling or something like that, it really comes out good. And I think the next one that we're wanting to probably do with the pie irons It's kind of like a shepherd's pie. Put a little piece of meat in it, some mashed potatoes, maybe some peas or something like that, and see whether that'll firm up. Um, the trick with them is to keep watching them. Agreed. Yeah, definitely. I can run water in a cast iron pan. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you love cherry pie, Jana Bruce. Yeah, I've never tried cherry pie in one of these things. I've watched them on videos for a lot of years, but I never had gotten one up until I was about 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago, and we did like a egg McMuffin like you would get at McDonald's, and then we did the pizza thing, and they turned out pretty good. The breakfast one was a little bit better than the pizza one because I think that I put way too much sauce on it, and it kind of got squishy, and so, but I watched a bunch more videos and found out that it seems like everybody's saying that the pastry dough works better than bread. And of course, my wife is telling me that she is going out to finish her last job. She works as a pet sitter. All right, be safe, dear. Take care. See you in about an hour and a half. So, cherry pie dumped in powdered sugar. Now that sounds good. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Jan, Bruce, I guess you guys have been doing this a long time, huh? This pie irons and stuff. I've watched some of your videos, and incredible. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, the master of cast iron, and I'm sure there's others out here that are really good at it, but Willis, man, oh man. Who taught you right there? That's incredible. I mean, it's just really good. I mean, I get hungry just watching your videos. It's just incredible pictures, and feel free to post those right straight to Dave Collier Camping. You don't need me to do it or anything like that. Just go right straight up to it and post your pictures, and it's really great content. We've been camping for 65 years. Oh, did I give my age away? No, not really. Not really. Because I will be 61 in November, so I'll give mine away. And yes, I bought and paid for all this gray hair every step of the way. So, thing is, we're still all alive and kicking, even despite all this pandemic stuff and all this craziness surrounding us. We're still here, and it's really amazing that we can sit here and talk to each other like this. And surprisingly, we have 11 people here, and which is really good. And I imagine it's because I have at least figured out how to recognize that you're here. And I don't see Grandma Prepper here, and I don't know if anybody knows Grandma Prepper. Check out her. She was the one that suggested doing just this, looking at the screen, and then having your iPhone or your iPad set up right beside you, and click live chat, and it is working like a charm. Okay, but she's a great channel. Grandma Prepper, check her out. Prepper Nerd, if you're into prepping and using software to get yourself all organized and stuff like that. If there's anybody in here that I have not subscribed to, please do. I think I've got everybody. And other than that, so everybody else, any big trips coming? East Coast Wild Camping. I am currently and have lived here in Newport News, Virginia. I'm just across the harbor from Norfolk, the Norfolk Naval Base, the big U.S. Naval Base. Originally, I was born in the suburbs of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in Chester. But I have been right here, other than my military time, for, 45, 50 years. So I'm a Southeast Virginian. Yeah. Explorer Just, me one, okay. Janet Bruce, we have cast iron pyron skillets and Dutch ovens. Yeah, I'm starting to get a collection of all that kind of stuff too. Sure am. My wife says she takes responsibility for a couple of those gray hairs. Nah, I'm the one that usually causes my own heartburn. Yeah, if it weren't for you, I would be a mess. You keep me organized and stuff like that, and when it comes to these cooking things, I tend to throw more heat at it than I do finesse, and she's the one that brings it back into perspective. You can't do it like that, dude. You know, not unless unless you want to eat burnt charcoal or something like that. But I see we have 12 people here now. And hey, everybody. And again, introduce each other, subscribe, share, comment. It's great to get this done. I think we're up to 254 subscribers now, which is pretty good. I mean, the channel's only 5 months old. But to me, this has been a learning experience. I love going outside and having fun, but I never would have thought that to videotape it and then share it with somebody. Janet Booth, I have been kind of camping since, I don't know, probably the early 1970s. Grandpa used to take us out. And of course, the U.S. Marine Corps, their idea of camping was to strap a gun on you and go out in the woods and play, find the bad guys. So, in a sense, I guess that was camping. The style of camping that I do now, I kind of got hooked on this cold weather camp. It's been a year or so, I guess, that I really started doing that. And people saying, "Are you nuts putting a 300 or 400 degree stove or hotter inside of a piece of canvas?" Yeah, I like it. And then, unfortunately for me, I cannot here get the kind of the weather, the snow and the sharp cold that really kind of fits that category. Hence, here in 14 months when I do retire, we would like to head north or west, or definitely someplace more rural, in the mountains or something like that would give us some private time and whatnot. Jack Wilkinson, hey buddy, how you doing? Hey Dave, love camping. Yeah buddy. Milk Carton 01, where did you get the wallpaper? This used to be my daughter's, and this is the spare room. This is where everything is kept, and this is where I stuck that brand new iMac. So this is what's it called? What's that movie called? Harry Potter type stuff. Yeah. So she likes doing this kind of stuff, and I guess she's over 30 years old now, and we just never have changed this room. This is the baby's room, and she's a professor of history at one of the local universities here. Daniel Harrison, love the stream. Have you ever camped in the Burmish Woods? No, I have not. I would love to hear more about that, though. Janet Bruce, the trick for cold weather camping is to be prepared. Yes, absolutely. Back in 1981, I was assigned to the 2nd Marine Division, 2nd Service, 4th Service Corporate Group. And of course, you tend to think you're going to find Marine Corps personnel in the warm tropical places. And to the greatest extent, that's true. Well, I got to the point where I just hated the hot weather, so I walked up into the battalion S1 one day and said, "Do we have someplace cold?" And that captain looked at me and says, "Yes, sir. We got someplace cold. You are going to go to Minnesota. Then you will visit Canada for some cold weather training, and then we will introduce you to Bodo, Norway." And when we got to Bodo, Norway, when that air transport dropped that ramp, it was. You feel the nose hairs go crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. It was that cold. Of course, Bodo, Norway, that was cold. Goose Bay, Canada, that was cold. St. Cloud, Minnesota, and all up along the Canadian border, cold. A lot of snow, a lot of moisture. Did Blair Woods put you off the camping? It did me for a while. We've been talking about that camp security and all that kind of stuff. And I have bought some of those little trip mines. But the big problem now is the ammunition, the 209 primer blanks. You can't find them anywhere here in the United States. I had been up and down all over this part of Virginia, and it literally, ammunition is cleaned out. It's almost like everybody's preparing for World War something, the zombie apocalypse. I don't know, but yeah, I guess the Marine Corps training and everything like that, and growing up when I did. Yeah, you're always kind of have something in the back of your head that there's something out there, and 90% of the time it's not the wild animal, it's the two-legged type that you're probably going to have to worry about. But I don't know, just go out and do the best you can and live your life, man. Have I ever camped in your own garden, cheap and cheerful? Well, yeah. When that COVID stuff was going big time last year, we were on complete shutdown. I did set up that Lux Twin Peak and that Teton Sport in amongst all the fruit trees and everything like that, and never had a problem. Seeing as how this is a really big city, I think everybody was afraid to come in contact with everybody else. So never had a problem at all. And it was, of course, back some months ago. I mean, there wasn't even so much as a car on the road. It was pretty much police or fire, or the handful of people that had to go to work doing other things. Pros and cons of a bread tent. Let me know. Tell me. Okay. The first thing to do when you learn about the first thing you need to do. Well, the first thing you need to do is, the Marine Corps part of it always tells me you need to make sure that your area is secure. You want to fire, water, just make sure that you didn't put yourself down inside of a floodplain or, some of these widowmaker trees and whatnot. But I think that it's been my experience now that if you don't prepare before you go, when you get out there, you're going to realize that you forgot something. And when you forget something, generally it's a small thing, but without that small thing, it makes life just a little bit more difficult. Most of y'all into like tent camping. I know a lot of you are into RVs, that kind of camping. And yes, we did that back in the 70s. One of my uncles had one of those little tiny pop-up things, and we would go down to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, Kitty Hawk, all back up through there, Buxton by the lighthouse, and spend 2, 3, 4 days there, and really enjoyed it. I really do. And I bought a 2019 Ford Ranger, has the complete tow kit and everything like that, so we are equipped to haul something big and heavy or something small. Haven't done that as of yet, but even that, you drive up and down the big streets here in these cities, and car lots, there's hardly any cars on it. When you want something, you have to go in there and have it shipped. The RV things, we've been getting emails and everything from RV places, for used RVs. Yeah, they're trying to sell used stuff and stuff. So, Janet Bruce says, we have a conversion van and are too old to get on the ground anymore. I can relate. Okay. I can't do the things that I used to do when I was a 21-year-old Marine. Nope, can't do it. I'll be 61 in November. I bought myself one of those Coleman Trailhead 2 cots. And the thing is so tight that you drop a coin on it, it bounces. Bing! But then once you put your air mattress on there and whatnot, it's not too bad, I'm just a baby. I thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully this baby can hang on for a good number of more years. Yeah. But it's the camping and the getting out and doing things that keeps you young. So anybody else going to do any of these live feeds coming up? I mean, they're actually kind of fun, especially once you figure them out. And I'm still not exactly sure when it decided that it was going to work, or at least work like this, other than when Grandma Prepper made a suggestion of holding the phone up that way I can see y'all instead of counting on this unreliable screen over here. Yeah, doing good. Willis, are you still here? What's for dinner tonight, man? He said, live streams are fun, especially when we can communicate with people. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, because I know there's people in here, Canada, Washington State, Virginia, uh, Florida, Arizona. Um, I'm not sure, that might even been somebody in here from the UK earlier that we were talking to. The feed yesterday, we did have UK, Canada, with all over the United States. And I think the trick to these are kind of establishing a day and a night, because if I'm doing one and then somebody else is doing one, you kind of split between the two. But I think what I'm gonna try to do is start doing Wednesday nights at 6. We'll do these things here, and then after that, we'll just do our normal uh, videos. So, some of them will be 10 to 15 minutes long. Other ones will be between 5 and 10 minutes. And I've kind of like to enjoy these YouTube shorts. I mean, some of them really did good. We did that one on hamburgers, and it ended up with 782 views. And it was just 16 seconds of hamburgers cooking in a cast iron skillet with cheese on it. And who would have thought that 780 some views for that one little video? But that drove a lot of traffic to the site and whatnot. When Creekside Maples do theirs every Tuesday around 8 p.m., there's people in the U.S. from all the way to Australia. I have no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Have a live coming up tonight. They're a lot of fun. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because it really is the first one I've had that worked. The last few that I did, or the first few, the last few, however you want to say it, it was y'all watching me struggle trying to figure out why I couldn't see y'all. And I could see up here in the left-hand corner that were 10, 15 people here, but I had no idea who was here until I got off, and then I could see through the logbook. What kind of camera is this? You are seeing me through a brand new Apple iMac built-in camera system. I bought this computer, I don't know, about a month ago, and it took them, about that long to get it here. And I'm a big fan of the Apple product. So this is the built-in studio camera that you see on all Apple Macs. The little light, green light, and the mic is right beside it. So that's what this is, Apple iMac. Yeah, this is a YouTube on. I'm using the Chrome, Google Chrome, and I use the live chat extension. And I really think that's what did it. A friend of mine said that these Apple products and Google Chromes and stuff, they have to have certain extensions, and without the extensions, things just don't get enabled. So about noon today, I installed the live chat overlay from Google Chrome, and all of a sudden, this is what we're getting. I'm able to communicate with you, and so yeah, this is Google Chrome, and this is how I manage the page through Google. Of course, I can do it on the phone or the iPad. I was even doing a little old mini camera thing earlier, but I have a GoPro, and Bruce has a Nikon. I have bought a Osmo Action, one of those cameras that you would use on the drones, and I have not used it to do any of the video film videoing yet, but I bought all the equipment and all the little connectors to get the reader out and everything. So the next video that you see we'll be using that, and we'll try it on the higher settings, the 4K type settings, and see what it looks like. I did a brief try of it, I don't know, a couple weeks back, and it really looked pretty. I had it looking out across the garden, and you could literally see the leaves, individual leaves shimmering on trees and stuff. So I figure these videos that we see of these people, they're a mile high in the sky, or they're hundreds of feet above the ground, whether you're in a city or the countryside, and you're seeing people and buildings. If it can get that kind of quality, I would think that it would do quite well in, you know, camping, traveling type environment. You love the GoPros, and I almost bought a GoPro. Went to Best Buy, I guess 5 or 6 weeks back, and it was quite picked through. They had some of the GoPros there, and they were down to like 3 or 4 of those. And the cheapest one they had on sale was $199. And I went and asked the lady. I said, "Do you have any of the Osmo Actions?" And she said, "Yep, somewhere around here." So we went to look for it, and they had one of those left. And just through talking with people, um, everybody gave the Osmo some really good reviews, and so that's what I bought. And I'm certainly not objecting to having a GoPro, but love to have 3 or 4 cameras in different directions, to try my hand at some of this editing and stuff. Everybody else use GoPros? Anybody else have any Osmo Actions or other Nikon type? Oh, it's okay, Nikon. Yeah, the Osmos. I see Jan has put up there. GoPro has a stabilizer. Osmo has this thing called Rocksteady, and I was messing around with it the other week. We went out to Fort Monroe, Virginia, and we were bouncing around pretty good. But then when I got home and I looked at it, it was really steady. It did not give that image of just how bad we were bouncing, because the roads on that old fort, that fort's 400 years old, had that, yep, just like us. And it was just, but the rock steady function worked really good. Also have a GoPro 4 Black. So, but yeah, I would love to have several different type of camera platforms and see how it all works. I use East Coast Wild Camping. I use a Samsung Galaxy S8 and an S9 for filming a video on my channel. Okay. And you do some really great videos. So, and Janet Bruce, your stuff is incredible too. But I'll tell you what, the advice I got when I started doing this was just get started, even if it's nothing more than your trusty iPhone, and they do surprisingly well. Granted that they get that kind of shimmer to it, like they can't decide whether they're in focus or out of focus or what. But hopefully this Osmo will solve all that, and I think it will. Oh, you're welcome, man. I mean, really, I'm hoping that all of y'all introduce each other to each other there, because a lot of you really crank out some like really beautiful videos, and the terrain you're showing, the views, it's just awesome, and I'm looking at where I am at, and it's just like, but then I have people say the same thing. Oh, wow, look at the ocean. Isn't it incredible? Well, I guess if you've lived beside this ocean for almost 61 years, it's probably lost its beauty, where I'm ready to turn around and look at the mountains, and I was positive that I wanted the GoPro and have never been sorry since bought one. Good. And like I said, next thing I buy might very well be a GoPro, because I'd love to see what a combination of things do. And like I said, this Apple iMac that I bought, I had one several years ago, and I had it so long it literally just died. I've used Windows computers, but I think my true love definitely is these Apples. I like the iMacs. I like the Apple interface. To me is really easy. At work, I work for the city of Hampton, Virginia. It's all Windows based PCs, and I don't have a problem with them. It's okay. I just always like the Apple products. Yeah. The clarity is outstanding on the GoPro. Yeah, I could definitely say that, because a lot of people that I'm watching these videos that are camping, some of these videos, Canada, out in the Western U.S., UK, Scotland, it almost looks like it's just not even real. It's almost like a computer rendered it, but here it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yep. So, anybody else got any big trips? Now, my wife says she never gets tired of the ocean. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. I want to get a GoPro Hero 8 for doing some of the trail ride videos. Uh huh. That makes sense. And Jan said, "What are you watching now?" I don't have the GoPro on. I am watching what everybody's videos at this current moment through this Apple iPhone. So whatever this viewer is that Apple uses, hope to have a big trip in September if Canada opens. I hope. I hope everything opens. The way the two cities here, Hampton Newport News, are carrying on is we've had hardly any new cases. Um, we were all required through our city, because I work for a city, to have both Moderna shots. I think I had the second shot way back in February. And just recently, they generated a master list that went all over the city to all the city offices that if your name appears on this list, you don't have to wear a mask. And and I'll tell you what, as hot as it was today, 94, 95 degrees, wearing a mask and then glasses, oh, no. Uh-uh. And I was talking to a friend of mine. He works for one of the local hospitals here, and he just absolutely just refuses to wear that mask. And sorry. Stabilization is good. You know, whereabouts in Canada, Jana Bruce, East Coast is asking you where your trip in Canada will be. When I went to Canada, it was Goose Bay, Newfoundland, Labrador, and then um, right along the Minnesota border. The Minnesota National Guard invited the U.S. Marine Corps up to do cold weather training up that way, and I think it was the Upper Quetico State Parks right on the border of Minnesota, Canada. It's been a number of years, so I'm not exactly sure. I do know it was a lot of water. The land of what do they say, Minnesota, 10,000 lakes or 10 billion lakes or whatever it is. 410. It depends on what is open. Yeah, I think a lot of that it depends on what is open. So a lot of the big parks and everything here, like Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which is about 18 miles up the road from us, it is now starting to go fully open. It doesn't. There for a while, it had limitations, about 1,800 people in the park at a time. Ontario bound East Coast wild camping, and Janet Bruce said they haven't seen family and everything for about 2 years. Yeah, yeah, because I guess everything went crazy. What, February, March of 2020? I mean, went from 1 minute where everything was fine, and the next thing a minute there wasn't a roll of toilet paper to be found anywhere. Toilet paper. I'm like, okay, I can understand meat. I can understand soft drinks, snacky poos, but toilet paper? Okay. All right. That's my rant for the night. So, how's everything out? Y'all's end of the world starting to slowly open up? Mm-hmm. All right. So, who's next on the live streams? Anybody got anything planned? It's hard to believe that we've been doing this for 44 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll hang on for a few more minutes, see if anybody else wants to come in and check in. But I certainly appreciate all of y'all stopping by. And Grandma Prepper, you're here. We were just talking about you. Everybody, Grandma Prepper's here. If you haven't met Grandma, check her YouTube channel out. She's got she can show you a whole new art of how to find good deals and get everything organized, and working on some software that getting everything organized. And I worked on some of that today, Grandma. And Grandma, I am doing good. I am doing quite good. It's warm here, hot here, but other than that, life just kind of keeps on plugging along. You may be East Coast, you might be headed out for some camping tomorrow. It's supposed to be rain tomorrow night. Yeah, if it's I guess you're up the coast from us, so it's supposed to start here in Virginia around noon tomorrow, and then smear its way all the way up through Maryland and Pennsylvania, New York State, and Massachusetts, and then I guess the Canadian Maritime provinces will buy it after that, and shoot out across the ocean, and the UK will get it. Grandma, you are certainly welcome. Thank you for that software from Prepper Nerd. I think you have don't you have a video feed coming up here that you can invite everyone? Yeah, I think I'd seen it that coming up here in a couple days or a day or two. Grandma, thank you for your advice. I figured out part of the problem, and it is working because I can see you. Oh, you do tomorrow. Uh-huh. Anyway, I installed a live chat overlay extension through Google Chrome, and suddenly it seemed like it started to work halfway. But I took your advice. I have my iPhone in my hand, and that way I can see all of y'all. Yeah, and it's not the easiest setup, but it works. And without trying to pull any more hair out, trying to figure out why YouTube won't do what YouTube's supposed to do, this is the easiest way of getting around it. Because I know a lot of people said that they've had this problem. They want to talk these live feeds, but they can't figure out how to make everything work. And you would figure they would just have one little simple button that you push. You are now live in 3, 2, 1. And, but this is a really neat way for everybody to meet each other. And for those of you that have not subscribed to each other, feel free to do so. And like I said, I have Dave Collier Camping Facebook page. You're all invited to come on over and join it, share your stuff and whatnot, make connections there. It's not a real big group right now. I think we're 34 or 35 people, but you're certainly welcome to come on over. Just click on it and come on in. Dave Collier Camping on Facebook. And they said we have depending on the weather, have at least 1 or 2 more videos planned for this week. And of course, it'll probably have something to do with cooking, because trying to set up a tent in this mess and this horrible heat, I mean, you really can't. It's not a whole lot of fun. No, not much. And the mosquitoes here in Southeast Virginia, I mean, it's just really not a good scene. Grandma said I use the Restream website to stream. I have heard of that too. I've heard about 5 or 6 different ways of doing this. And East Coast says, I will have to check out your Facebook page. Yeah, please do, man. And share all your things. And if you guys want to do giveaways, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. You reach that milestone of 3, 4, 5, 600,000, whatever like that, and you want to do a giveaway and you want to advertise it on the Facebook page, heck, go ahead. Yep. Lindsay says, we're in a fire barren area, so no campfire cooking for me. And that's crazy. Yeah, but I can understand. I really can. We don't have fire issues here, Lindsay. It's, maybe I'll do a video here shortly one day, backing out the driveway and just driving a short distance. I'm within 1 mile of the James River, which is like 4 miles wide, a river, which connects to the Hampton Roads Harbor, which is like 4 or 5 miles wide, which connects to the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean, and we got water. We got water everywhere. Jesse Lopez Outdoors. Good evening, bud. How you doing? Yep, I very much enjoy your videos. Absolutely. Good. I'm glad to see y'all all introducing yourselves. Jesse, we were just talking about I have a Facebook page. You're certainly welcome to come on over on it. Dave Collier Camping. Share your videos and anything else that you want to on it. Of course, we don't argue about things. It's not that kind of a thing. It's just you want to camp, cook, share your trip videos, anything like that. Yeah, of course I did. I mean, like I said, I take every opportunity to watch y'all's videos, everybody. And it's, I think we're up about 254, 255 subscribers. And we seem to be growing like a couple a day. And I try to spend a little bit of time each day looking at everybody's latest and greatest things. And I use that thing that Apple TV, and I subscribe through the subscription things. That way I get that little blue dot on the screen appears. Let's say with Grandma Prepper put something up new, and ping, it lights up. Or Life with Lindsay puts a new one out. It pings, and you ought to check her hatchet throw out, the last video. That was pretty good. Yeah, Jesse, I'm sorry to hear about your baby, man. I hope everything will be all right. You say you're growing about the same rate. It's a nice smooth ride. We haven't seen that 100 at a time or 200 at a time. I mean, it's slow enough where you can actually get to know people, and because I always wonder, when you get up so large, can you even have any hope of answering these questions or do these live things? Because I mean, if you have 1,000 people waiting to talk, but when you build in a nice slow pace, 2 per day, somewhere between 10 and 14 for the week, you at least have time to watch the videos and interact with them. But yeah, Jesse, I believe if we keep going at this rate, we'll probably cross that 1,000 threshold in, what, a year, something like that. Yeah, it is hard to keep up. Yeah, it really is. This is like Facebook. You look up there, some people have 2,000 friends. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think I have like 150 actually on Facebook. Right. Yeah. Nice smooth ride. Mm-hmm. But again, like I said, hey, Lindsay, here's a neat suggestion. Check out a group called YouTube Content Creators. I'll send that to you or something. But what they do is it's a Facebook page, and you go up on there, and basically all it is you're telling everybody you're here, and you'll subscribe to them if they subscribe to you. And they're up to like 1,000 in that group now, and a lot of my growth has come through them, because let's say somebody pops a video up from Scotland, and I send a message to him. I watch, his like, comment, subscribe, watch 3, 4, 5 minutes of one of his videos, and then maybe I like it so much I watch some more. Well, then he does the same thing back, and it's just, hey man, thanks for watching. I'm your new subscriber. So YouTube Content Creators, and if you can't find it, just let me know. I'll tell you. But it will help you get to that 100 mark a lot faster. And when I joined it, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, I was at like 88, and in 6 weeks, we've gone from 88 to 254, 255, something like that. So it does help. And then, of course, things like this, these live feeds, you can get to interact with people, and certainly a way to you make contact with the person that you're wanting to see their video. But all these people here in this feed, you can say, hello, and Life with Lindsay. That's, I ought to check her stuff out. Lovely family, Lindsay. Look how y'all really enjoy life. Outstanding. Grandma Prepper. You want lessons in hunting for bargains? Yep. Grandma will show you how to do that. East Coast. Yeah, you know what? I've had some people say that too. And I put a couple of comments up on a channel from Wales, Wild Wales, I believe it was. And he went to answer my question and it was gone. And I can't explain it. I don't know why they do what they do. I feel certain that we're not that incompetent that we would hit don't comment instead of commenting. I don't understand it. Yep, my wife says that she wants to be online to, see. Another thing to check out is Fish Snatcher. He puts you in a wheel and spins it out. And he watches 3 minutes of your, which gives you exposure. He does it every Friday night, and I do the same. Okay, Fish Snatcher. Okay, yeah, all right. Might be something else. Okay. And like I said, I was telling Lindsay just a minute ago, YouTube content creator. That's the guy. What his name was, Joe something. But there's no shame in his game. He said the sole purpose for the creation of this particular group is to say, "Hi, I'm Dave. I'm here to introduce myself. May I get you to subscribe to me? And when you do, I return the favor. I like, I comment, I watch some videos, and then subscribe. I'll share, stuff. Like I said, I have my own Facebook Dave Collier Camping thing. So I put your stuff up there. And of course, if you're a part of that, you can just do it your own self. But if you're actually waiting for that so-called organic subscriber, that person just catches a video and likes it, yeah, it happens. I've had a number come in like that, but it really is easier to have, meet with groups, and then interact with each other. East Coast says 514 subs as of now. Excellent. Okay, I'm about 300 behind you. Hulk smash that like button. PSA: I'm not responsible for any damage done to Hulk. Thank you for having a nice day. Let's go. Okay. I'm just arriving at the store to shop bargains again. All right, Grandma. What are we after tonight? I tell you what, once we start getting organized, when you start pulling everything out of cabinets and drawers and sheds and everything, you figure out all the stuff you got, then you would try to put it to paper and then put it to a computer program. Now that's a task. That is a task. Okay. But if y'all are wanting to get organized, watch some of Grandma Prepper's videos, and then she will introduce you to Prepper Nerd. And that is another outstanding resource to help you get yourself organized. Because if you're like me, and I'm sure everybody's probably the same way, you might have some supplies over here in that cabinet and then a bunch over that way, and some in the 2 or 3 sheds, and there's stuff underneath the beds and in closets and everything, And if you really ended up having to figure out what it is you had, you really don't know. 1,000 viewers is a good number. It is a good number. It's a magical number, so to speak. And one day we will get there. But I think this slow build, as Jesse was saying, it's the way to go instead of making these humongous leaps, hundreds at a time. Because I really do like getting to know the people that I interact with. See, Grandma says I'm shopping for someone else's working pantry. It's part of my job. Oh, okay. Okay. What part of the country are you in, Grandma? I'm starting to get a feel for where everybody's at. Content don't sub to me. Yeah. Okay. Washington State. Okay. Well, there's a one or two other people in here that are from Washington State. Right. Uh huh. Well, like I said, we'll hopefully build everything. Like I said, my average seems to be about 2 per day. We're adding on. I think we came about 2 or 3 today. And eventually, I try to interact with people, and then every once in a while I'll get, maybe once or twice a day, I'll get a message from say, "Hey man, saw your pie iron video and subscribing to it. That's good, outstanding." Yeah. Well, we have been on here for 1 hour and 1 minute. That's incredible, and I guess it really is very helpful that this stuff is halfway working tonight. So I will give this a few more minutes, and then I will let y'all get ready for, you know, going to bed for those that are later in the night. Interactions is the best thing you do. I agree with you, Jesse. And when you go on a page that you're subscribed to and you put, hey, John, outstanding video, really cool, I enjoyed it very much, then other people see you. And if you do it all the time, constantly looking at certain people's videos, then you're right. It's interaction. That is the way to build a really nice, slow, steady pace. And Grandma says slow, steady numbers, but I lost some after the mental health video. You didn't lose me though. I'm here. You know, I have good days and bad days too, so it's okay. 1 hour to 1.5 hours is the perfect number. Okay, well we're almost right. We just crossed the minimal line. Now we're at 1 hour and 2 minutes, and yeah, don't be afraid to show all sides of you as well. The more the people see of you, yeah, you're right. I had somebody ask me the other day, do we ever film when things don't work out? Uh, generally no. I mean, I think most people just say, well, don't do this, but they don't actually see that night when the wind blows your tent over or blows the chimney stack out the stove jack, or that moment that you walked away to go do something and your cast iron skillet looked like a volcano blowing up. Yeah, Grandma, I can understand that. Your channel is real life and some just can't handle it. Well, to an extent, I mean, my life is just about what you see. I get up at dark 30, go to work for the city here, Hampton, doing my thing. I get off at 11 in the morning. I go outside, cut the grass, working in the garden. They had a really big yard. Cook on days that I can, camp when we can. Yeah, I actually have had the tents go off, and I've had the actual stovepipe lift out of the stove jack because it was so windy. And if I'd have had the camera pointing in that direction when that happened, it probably would have made an interesting video, because yeah, maybe everybody's right. It's good to see what can happen and actually catch it on video, So, and another thing is, we see a handful of these guys cooking on these big stoves and these tents and stuff like that. If you don't practice it, you're really not going to get good at it. Because there's a certain way you have to build that fire where the fire is forward onto that flat space, where you're going to put your skillet. And then if you're trying to use pocket rockets and and fire holes and everything. You got to learn the characteristics of it. And the only way to really get to know that is to go out and do the stuff all the time, you know. And if you can't go out into the woods, the boonies to do it, well, you've got your own property. And trust me, the U.S. military does the same thing. You know, if you're training on your base, you go out and sneak in the woods out there, and you've got everything all set up. It's there you find out whether the system works. It's there you find out whether everybody understands the system. And when the time ever comes you have to use it, well, lessons learned, you know exactly what can go wrong. And it can certainly go wrong camping. I mean, we can all definitely attest to that. Jan says, yeah, you need to show the good and the bad of camping. True. Very true. Yeah. I was just talking to a fellow that really had a hard time as he lost 90% of his garden on his YouTube channel. It really hit him hard. And I'm like, gosh, that's, every year here, it's something. One year the tomatoes will do great. The next year they won't. One year we'll have cucumbers coming out their ears. And then the next year, nothing. So, I just try to take the good with the bad and be happy that this year there's a few hundred tomatoes sitting out there in the kitchen, and because the year before that there wasn't any, and then for some strange reason the something ate every one of the squash plants this year, so it doesn't make any sense to me. I followed you because your cooking reminds me of cooking I used to do in the Scouts. So I'm always looking for new ways of cooking outdoors. Jesse, the very first time I think I ever heard of Dakota fire holes was Cub Scouts back in the 1960s. And somewhere in my memory, I remember Granddad doing something like that. Lived up here in Middlesex County, Virginia. Of course, he's been dead a great many years now. He was born in the early 1900s. But they used to do a lot of that kind of stuff, cooking outside, because in those days there wasn't a lot of air conditioning. And when I was a kid, when it got hot, it just got hot, and you slept out on the screened-in porches, and you cooked outside as much as you could, because it once it got hot, it stayed hot in those houses, until you got to October when the temperature started dropping off. And but yeah, a lot of the cooking that we do, or I do, is based on stuff that we used to do as youngsters. You got a bad experience when camping. My girlfriend and I were out camping and didn't unpack nothing. We went gathering firewood about 20 minutes, and we came back and it was gone, it was stolen. And I'm gonna still say this. I don't so much worry about wild animals. It's the two-legged type that I think would be the bigger worry. Hence, you probably saw me hinting around the other day about perimeter alarms and stuff like that. Things that make noise. I mean, I don't really have any intention of hurting anybody, but if you step on something and the next thing it sounds like a shotgun went off, and you were introduced to a blank cartridge that went boom at 124 decibels, it might give you some pause to sneaking up, somebody's camp. You remember the old John Wayne movies, Hello in the Camp, yeah, come on in, but if we didn't invite you, so. And from tiger to eagle, excellent. Okay, I'll be teaching my son what I learned. Outstanding. And I hope you put it to video. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, always lock up your supplies. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, again, I'll go back to the military days. There was always a gear guard. Okay, everybody else would go out doing their thing, but there was always a small little element of detachment that stayed back as gear watch and stuff like that. And they kind of roamed around, made sure that nothing came in from the outside, and then, for that matter, made sure that nothing from the inside stole and went out. So, yeah, it is awful that gear got stolen. Yeah. A major inconvenience. They could have been also very, very dangerous, because let's say you couldn't have, you weren't easily to get out of that situation, and you needed that gear to survive it, it could have really turned ugly. But I'm glad you're still here. So, all right, we are at 1 hour and 9 minutes, and we'll hang on for about another 5. And if anybody's got anything else left that they would like to certainly throw in, feel free to do so. Last call for introducing each other for everybody. And like I said, come on over to Dave Collier Camping on Facebook. Feel free to share your camping, cooking, traveling videos, hobbies, whatnot. It says camping, but I mean, it doesn't mean literally camping. I mean, the way COVID treated us this pandemic, heck, we all camped out right here in our own homes, in our own yards. That's where the fun was made. I guess that's why pool sales and everything else went through the roof. I took my tent and all my sleeping gear. Janet Bruce, my intentions are to do a live feed like this on Wednesdays at 6. Do like the main one. I mean, I might pop up there now and again, do a quick one, but I think fixing a date and an actual time, Wednesday at 6, would probably be the way to go, because I know other people have other things going at different nights, and I like to take part in that too, to support them, and it's a good way to meet new people and everything. So Wednesdays at 6. And if that's not good, if just let me know. We can move things around a little bit. Do you have any fishing cooking videos? I do not, but I don't know whether you watched that last one, the 4th of July cook. I used the almost like a pie iron, but it was an open face thing where we cooked hot dogs and brats. I have never made a video of this, but you could line that with foil and then put your fish in there, and it will keep the fish from disintegrating over the fire. And you were thinking about doing a chat in the morning until I feel comfortable. Yeah, well, let us know. All right, Grandma, you're off work an hour after you start your live stream. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we can kind of experiment around that way. Everybody gets a chance, to see things, and because I know we all kind of live in the different schedules and stuff. All right, East Coast. She said, "Well, Dave, you take care and stay safe when that storm hits." We'll do, and that goes for everybody else, all up down the U.S. East Coast and the Canadian Maritime provinces. I would imagine we'll see it tomorrow, noonish. New York State, 4 to 5 hours later. Canada, 4 or 5 hours after that. So right now they're talking about a boatload of rain. We're under a flash flood warning. And they're saying anywhere from 1 to 5 inches of rain, 35, 40 mile an hour winds. All right. I will end this, and I will certainly thank everyone for coming. Whether you're a subscriber or whatever, thank you. And invite your friends, anybody else that wants to come on over, and send me a message when you want to do one of these live feeds, and I will make every effort to get up on there. So having said that, any last little things, I'll say good night and give everybody stay live for 1 more minute, and we'll end this at 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right. Okay, wishing everybody a wonderful, safe night, and we'll see you on the next video. Be safe, everyone. Thanks.